Hi, I'm Davis.
I'm Andy.
We're the Game Grazers.
We're not grazing, but we're talking in front of a camera.
Time for another rousing edition of Game Grazers Discuss.
Did you say arousing?
No, just a rousing. You dirty-minded fuck.
Too late.
Yeah. So today's question
Yes.
comes from ShakkaPanda. And he asks, games are often broken into 3 different parts during critical review. Graphics, gameplay, and story.
And if it's Bethesda, it's just broken.
What do you feel are the most important aspects of a good game in descending order?
I always forget descending and ascending order. Does that mean we start at the top and work our way down?
So, for what is of the 3, which one is the most important, second most important, third most important?
Okay, I got it. Like silver, gold, metals, bronzes.
Yeah.
Gold, silver, bronze. Anyway, yeah. Okay, I'll let you answer.
So for me, I think it is very definitively, the order is gameplay, story, and then graphics. Because for me, if the game isn't fun to play or controls well, you've kind of failed at making a game, you know?
So, okay, but with story.
Shut up! Device over there beeping at me.
I feel like story, you could have a game completely devoid of story, and if it's got good gameplay and it's got tolerable graphics, I can totally play it.
I mean, yeah, but it's like, I think, so let me kind of finish up my thoughts, so for me, the gameplay is most important because if the game itself doesn't control well, then you don't really have a great game.
Mm-hmm.
The story, the story is not as important as the gameplay. Let's say like Meat Boy, for example. There is a game with like bare bones, really no story at all to follow. It's there, but it's very much old school, like platformer action where it's like, hey, I'm going to go through the course and save my girl kind of thing.
Okay.
But the gameplay in it is amazing. It's tight, it's solid, you can do all sorts of amazing things. So the gameplay is what sells that specific game. I know it could vary between game to game. Like obviously for a Final Fantasy game, story is more important than gameplay. But I think overall, gameplay is the most important aspect. Because if your game does not play well, you're not doing so hot.
Final Fantasy is kind of an interesting, I think, exception here. Because to me, I feel like the battle in Final Fantasy, it really defines the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's easy for story to kind of overtake gameplay in a game like Final Fantasy. But I think gameplay is still really important.
Yeah. So what's your order? I think if you said it, I missed it.
No, I haven't said it, but I actually... Okay, so in principle, I completely agree with you. Gameplay, story, and graphics. But the problem with when I say it that way is that I think about games where I'm like, I'll sit down and be like, oh my god, this game looks like ass. Or sometimes the graphics will be so good that'll totally sell me on a game, and I'll be like, yes, I love this game, based on graphics alone. So it's really hard for me to say. And of course, you can twist it on its ear and be like, well, what about, I could think of a game that didn't have the best gameplay, like Silent Hill,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that was a game that had story and atmosphere. Gameplay sucked, graphics weren't so good, but there was something magical about that game to me. So that's a really hard, complicated question.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I ultimately feel that the true answer is it's really dependent upon the game or the franchise or whatever, various things. But if you're talking just the broad overarching idea, I think, yeah, that order of gameplay, story, graphics. And, the other thing about graphics is, like, you can have terrible graphics, like low resolution, low polygon, whatever, but you can have a brilliant aesthetic.
Yes, you can.
Like
Fez. Sorry.
Yeah, Fez, or like, the Pixar ones. But I think my prime example is a game where the graphics are not amazing, but the aesthetic is Wind Waker.
Oh yeah, that had a very distinctive look.
Yeah,
memorable, very memorable.
And even though it's a GameCube game, even though it's still, standard definition, it's 480, it looks fucking amazing. And again, the gameplay is amazing in that one. The story is really good, and the graphics sell. I mean, that's a complete package. But
well, that almost makes the game magical, right? I mean, that's a pivotal game.
Yeah,
I would say.
So we agree that gameplay, story, graphics, in terms the importance is kind of what makes it go. But it could vary depending upon specific scenarios.
There are exceptions to the rule.
Yes, there always are.
Definitely.
So we want to know your thoughts on the subject. What do you think the order should be? And again, if you have a question that you would like us to discuss, let us know in the comments below, or let us know on our Twitter at Game Grazers. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Davis. And that was a great question.
Yes, thank you, ShakkaPanda.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
Indeed.